Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your author Mark, inviting you to one of my great YouTube discussions. Today's video, we're going to call this "The End of the American Empire," and the reason is because I was watching Fox Business Network all this week, and they have really gone off the rails. Now let's talk about what's going on the inflation front. Inflation is still going to go up, but it's going to go up slower. Now, because the reason is because of these tariffs on other countries' goods. Now, like I said before, in the long term, this will help us because some of the manufacturing might come home. However, what we have to realize is, although yes, we can implement tariffs on other countries, that we can implement tariffs on other countries like China, Russia, and all these other places. That's fine. But what we have to realize is that yes, other countries such as Russia, China, and everyone else can also implement tariffs on our goods that we want to export from America to other countries. Now, when we're going to be able to, if the question is, like I said, do the tariffs work? Yes, but it is a double-edged sword because the tariffs can work both ways. They can certainly help us and make our goods cheaper here in America, but when we export our goods to other countries, that's where we might run into a roadblock, because other countries may not want to purchase our goods in retaliation for us because we impose tariffs on them. Now, what is that going to lead to, ladies and gentlemen? And nothing more than a trade war. But here's what we're going to see, and here's where we run into problems with this. That is because when we go into a trade war, if we were going to a trade war from a strong position, then that wouldn't be a problem. But where we're going to a trade war, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going in from a weak position, and that is because, first of all, we have inflation. Our dollar itself is going to stop, or it already stopped being what we call a world reserve currency. So, because now people are trading either in yen or euro. So the dollar, nobody is basically buying dollars like they used to. I mean, they still conduct some trade and some economic business in dollars, but not as much as they used to. So here's the deal. And here's the thing. If this so-called inflation and the trade war does not get under control, if we don't get this under control, then we're still going to have a slow creeping inflation. Oh yes, although I admit some goods have gone down in price, and by not that much, ladies and gentlemen. The other thing the other thing that we have to worry about is, like, how we're supposed to live with prices in the grocery store still skyrocketing and all that. Now, and I do want to get back to this import-export tariff thing, because, ladies and gentlemen, what I have heard on Fox Business Network is that the foreign cars that people would like to buy, for example, Mercedes-Benz, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to get more expensive to buy a Mercedes car because of the tariffs that we impose on other countries. So cars like Mercedes, Toyota are going to be more expensive to buy because of the tariffs. Now, is this going to so what is that going to do? Is this going to make our cars that are produced here in America less expensive? Maybe to some degree, but we will see. Now, the next thing I want to talk about. Now, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard on Fox, and I'm going to finish up with this topic. This is the most ridiculous thing I heard on Fox Business Network ever. They said that there's not going to be a housing market crash like in 2008. Well, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a lot worse crash. There's a lot worse crash coming, and we are going to have to go through a major recession because major recession and economic depression, so to speak, because I love when the talking heads on Fox Business Network, and I'm not talking about the talk show host, but I am talking about the guests that they invite. They had a woman on there that said that's supposed to be an expert in real estate, but she said that there's not going to be a housing market crash. Well, in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, I hope there isn't going to be one. But in reality, in my opinion, we're going to have the worst economic crash ever devised, because it's not just about ladies and gentlemen, the whole entire economic, not just the only thing that we should not only be concerned about is the housing thing, but we should be concerned about our whole entire financial system, because housing market is part of it, but it's not the whole entire market. So what I'm saying is that there is going to be a crash, of course, maybe not in the housing market, but the crash might happen throughout the whole entire economic system, and that is the main problem. Now, there's one more thing I'm going to mention is, there were some good talk show hosts like Peter Schiff, like John Stossel was on there, and like a lot of good guests that were on there, and people like Peter Schiff, so some other ones were laughed off the stage, but the thing is, people like Peter Schiff get laughed off the Fox Business Network because people like Peter Schiff, economic analyzer guy, he actually predicted that there's a crash coming, and I'm not the only person who's saying that there's a major economic crash coming, but he said that if we're going to have a major economic crash, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have it through. This whole crash will infect not only us, but the whole entire financial American economic system. Now, people like Peter Schiff get laughed off. The Fox Business Network, and they don't let him back on. Because let me tell you, Peter Schiff was the person who actually mentioned, was the first person who ever said anything about printing money and all that stuff. So people like Peter Schiff and the other guy, I forgot his name, but he used to be Jim Rickards. Yeah, Jim Rickards and Peter Schiff, people like that are not even allowed to be on Fox Business Network. But they're the only people who tell you the truth. Now, there's what's going to happen, and those things don't. What's great about this is the economic crash is not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen slowly. So, because like I said, the dollar itself, it is no longer being used as the primary world reserve currency. So, I would like to know what you guys think about my monologue, and I would like your comments down below. You can visit me on Facebook, and yes, and I to mention this, I did write about this extensively in my books. That I'm going to leave a link down below, so you can purchase my books on Amazon. That they're still available, and I did write about this upcoming economic crisis that's coming in my books. Which I'm going to leave the link down below. So you can reach out to me on Facebook, you can reach out to me on Twitter, you can reach out to me on Tumblr. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you in my next one.